how you can use these URL parameters to send the form data to another form. So let's say let's start with a random template. I say let's start with a contact us template. You can of course start from scratch, and I will perfectly showed you how you can build something from scratch and leverage it, customize it however you want. So here I have my contact us form. Let's say I want to send the data of this contact us form to another form. I will build another form from scratch this time, so you see how it works. And then on this new form, maybe I'm asking for a satisfaction question. Let's delete this field. Uh, let's ask how satisfied are you with our services, right? So this is just one question. You can add more questions if you want. And I'm asking for the user satisfaction. But what we have in the contact us form is we're asking for the user's name and email address and their message. I want to capture the name and email address of the user and send it to the second form and capture it in the second form so that when the user submits this, I have it and I can save it and see it in my responses. Right? So I have one form to ask specific questions and another form to ask more detailed questions. So this is a great way for lead generation. If the user just submits the first form, you can contact them later. It's a short form, right? People just enter their full name and email address. Maybe you don't make this required and submit the form, but maybe they leave it and don't submit the second form, which might be a bit longer and detailed. So this way you have generated the lead and you have their contact information to follow up and send them email to ask for the feedback and etc. So to send the data of this form to this form, first let's edit this form, the first form, the contact us form, which is for lead generation, and maybe make this not required. And here I need to have an ID for each of these fields that I want to be sent to the next form. So each field you need to be sent to the next URL has to have an ID. So I will set the name, full name ID is name, and email address ID is email. So this is how we set an ID. And next thing you need to do is to send form data to redirect URL. So when you enable this, it automatically sends the form data to the redirect URL, which we will set here, and it won't send everything. It will send only the fields with ID. So I've only set full name and email address. I set an ID for full name and email address, not the message. So the message will not be sent. The full name and the email address will be sent. So to what URL, I need to go back and you can either view the form to get the URL or go edit it and find the URL. So I get the URL of the second form and go back to edit mode, and here I will set the redirect URL. Now that I have the redirect URL, the send form data will be saved. So I enable the send form data, and this is the redirect URL. So let's see how it actually works in action. I will submit the form. Let's say I am Noosh. I'm actually Noosh. So I submit it this way, and yeah, something like this. So I submit the form. So as you see, it redirected the form to the second form. And if you check the URL, we see that its name equals Noosh and email equals this. So this is the sign, URL sign for @sign. So we have received the email and the name, but this form doesn't know how to capture it, right? It's just sent here, but this page needs to capture it. You can have, this page could be your website, could be another form. If it's the website, you need a developer to develop it for you to capture this information from the URL. If on Formaloo, we have done it for you, so you don't need coding. Let's see how it works. So I'll go back and edit the second form because I'm already sending the form data to the second form, but now I need to capture it. So on the second form, I will add maybe a hidden field. You saw it in my previous example, right? So the hidden field can have any name, let's say full name. And the most important part is that the ID should be identical to the ID of the first forms field. So the ID was name, right? So I will set the exact same ID here. So this field will automatically capture the name ID, the value of the name ID, and saves it in the value of this field. I'll add another one for email. The title doesn't matter, it can be anything, but the ID has to be exactly the same as we have there. So, yep, that's it. So, this is how this form will capture that information. You can show it to the person or not. But the most important thing is that you capture it. If you want to show it, you can add maybe a content field and say, use answer piping, right? And say, hey, name, happy to have you here, right? And let's view the form. So this is the second form, so I will start from the first form. Let's view it. Submit the form again. And voila. So here I have the name Noosh, and here is my name, right? Here's the custom text that I added here. Hey Noosh, happy to have you here, and maybe it invites me to submit the form or etc. You can also move it to the top of the page to capture it. But the important thing here is that you have to first capture the information using a hidden field, right? And then show it. So in order to always the content field should be after the hidden field. So here I have my name and email, which are hidden, and they capture the information. And this is my content field. So this way, my welcome message will be at the top of the form, and it's under the hidden field. So first, the hidden field captures the information from the URL, and here I show it in the content. So yeah, that's it about sending data from one form to another form, or what we call it as interform data transfer.